This is all my great-grandfather's country, Mount Alexander Regional Park. In Dja Dja Wurrung language, it's called Leanganook, which means his teeth. This whole mount is a ceremony area sacred to Dja Dja Wurrung people. My name's Trent Nelson. I work for Parks Victoria and I'm the Dja Dja Wurrung Ranger team leader. We get to take a lot of school groups out on country and show them country in our way, in Dja Dja Wurrung way, and share our story and our education. For our ancestors, we have a lot of stories that connect us here. The significance of it for us was mainly for men's ceremony. We do have connection with women as well, but predominantly the main areas of this mountain were used for young men's ceremonies. And being that it's called Leanganook, which means his teeth, is where the ceremony of initiation and knocking out the front teeth of that young boy. Up here we have a lot of tangible cultural heritage. So in terms of scar trees, which are taken for bark shelters, for carrying seeds and for carrying babies and for carrying water. But we also have a lot of intangible cultural heritage. So the intangible stories that connect us up here, connect us to stories from our old people. You know, settlement times, about pastoralists, about times when our people were driven away from country, but also times of, of enjoyment and celebration, in times of the year when ceremonies were brought back on country for a certain reason. So yam daisies collecting, which is called Murnong in Dja Dja Wurrung language. But to the north of here, we also have a place called Mount Barker, which connects us to a stone arrangement, which is a Mindy, which is a rainbow serpent. So for us, this whole place, is important for our ceremony. And we need to protect these cultural heritage sites as well, because they're storylines that we can educate the wider community, and it also supports our families as well in their identity. Our country, Jandak we call that, has been changed over time. We look across our landscape and we don't have that diverse of bush foods, we don't have the diverse of different animals that are in the landscape. There's animals that aren't here that were here. There's been a lot of impacts on our country and as well as our people. Dja Dja Wurrung people were impacted by the gold rush in terms of moving us away from country and settling us into reserves and onto missions. So we have a lot of the stolen generation as well. We have a lot of people that are dispersed across country and that probably don't have a connection with country as well, which is sad. For me, connecting to country is really important because it's in my bloodlines. I need to do that to make sure that my mental health is being looked after. If I'm away from country for a vast period of time, when I come back home, it's like coming back home. It's like a breath of fresh air. All my stories, all my connection, my culture is actually out here in the landscape. It's not in an office, it's not in an iPad, it's not on a mobile phone. Everyone's got connection to country, but it's important that you understand the country and what the country needs and how to respect the country as well. I've learnt through my grandfather and my father about caring for country. Being up here and being a land manager and being able to, work day to day on my grandfather's country and my bloodlines, that's pretty important, pretty powerful. In our day-to-day roles, we get cooped up in offices and we're in cities, we're in the hustle and bustle. I think it's really important that people get out in the landscapes, get out into our parks and reserves, go for a bushwalk, think about things and they can relax and they can get back to nature. Today with technology and mobile phones and, everything we've got to try and put them down and turn them off sometimes and just get out on country and walk country and you'll probably find a lot of things more than what you'll get out of your technology too. Connecting with country and being outside to make ourselves healthy and make our communities healthy as well. It's what our people and our ancestors have done for a long period of time.